Okay, here's the last one. I cannot believe I couldn't squish 3 slides in, but this program won't let me go past 15 minutes, and I was at 14 minutes, 43 seconds, so it wasn't going to happen. Okay, the last one, Convention on Biological Diversity. This is, again, international, so it's worldwide, done in 1992 to conserve biodiversity. The idea is to sustainably use biodiversity. There's nothing wrong with using biodiversity in organisms as long as you do it in a proper way, in a good ethical way, in a sustainable way. When things are done sustainably, it means that you can do it at that rate forever and you'll never run out of it. So that's what that is. Okay. One of the things too with this is the equitable sharing of things. Unfortunately, a lot of times United States goes into countries and we use a lot of their stuff and we don't really pay them for it. We go into the jungles of the Amazon and we take medicines and stuff like that. And we don't actually pay them for it. So the idea too is that these countries should benefit from some of this activity as well. So that's a big part of this. Red List is by IUCN again. We talked about IUCN earlier. It's their list of threatened animals, how they list them. And then they're monitored and stuff like that. And so we know what's going on. We talked about this a little bit today. Species, the way we're saving biodiversity. Species survival plans is one way. It's done by zoos primarily. That animals that are being kept and bred in captivity, there's a plan to reintroduce them. So we're trying to save their habitat, protect where they should be, and eventually we'll reintroduce them. We also save ecosystems. This is important as well because a species survival plan saves a species, where if you're saving an ecosystem, it requires a bigger area, but that's also better because you're saving all the little parts of that area and all the animals within that area. So sometimes ecosystems are better to save, yet a lot of times it's easier to show the face of a cute animal to get people to participate. So it's a double-edged sword. When you're protecting areas, there's 3 things you have to look at, and that's shape, size, and connectedness. When you're protecting an area, there's an edge effect. There's a zone around it where it's lower quality. It's that habitat degradation kind of thing. It's less quality habitat because it bumps up against human activities. So a lot of animals are less likely to do that. Every animal has a different size edge effect. Some of them, a raccoon hardly has an edge effect at all. But other animals really won't go near that edge. So it ends up that there's a zone around the area that really isn't used very much. And then it's really the core inner area where animals are really using that area. So even though you think you're saving all this area, you're really not. And then if you take shape into consideration, if you have an area that's very long and narrow and it has a huge edge effect, you basically have no habitat left because the edge effect eats up and you really have no viable habitat in the area. And I'll talk about this in class. Also, there's connectedness. If you're going to have different areas that are being used for animals, you need to connect them. If we connect them and animals will move between them, then you're actually constructing one big area rather than little areas. So think of our protected areas as islands. If the islands are big and close to each other, animals will move between them, and that helps increase your biodiversity. But if they're tiny little islands far apart, animals will not move between them, and that's going to decrease your biodiversity. And I'm going to wrap this up for tonight. I hope you guys are having a great time. If you have any questions about any of these videos, please ask in class. I will be happy to explain things further. I hope you're hanging in there. Have a great night. Bye, guys.